Hello! Welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, how is everybody doing today? This is where you say your response, because I can obviously hear you. Today, I just wanted to do kind of an inspired look by this makeup look that I saw on Instagram by one of my favorite makeup artists named Nikki. And it's Nikki_makeup on Instagram, and she has beautiful looks. She does a bunch of tutorials and stuff, and I always watch them. And this look, she did today, and I loved it. I was like, oh heck yeah, I want to recreate that look. So that is the look that we are going for today. I'm gonna try my best to recreate it. Let's just say it's inspired, not recreated. There's like a cut crease, and she did a beautiful job, but I'm gonna try to come close to it. So yeah, anyways, yeah, let's just get into it, and we're just gonna play with makeup and hang out, and yeah. I think I'm gonna start with eyes, because it looks like she did quite a bit of work on those. So I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna go in with this Fit Me, Maybelline Fit Me concealer in Sand. You can't see that. It's in Sand. Oh, Whitney. This is just gonna act as a base for the shadow so that the colors show up how they're supposed to. Also, it helps it stay on a ton longer when you lay down a base for shadows. I'm gonna buff that in with a brush real quick. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a translucent powder and just fluff that all on my eye. Look at these nails. They're literally claws, like so sharp. Like I hurt my face. I'm just gonna go in with this, a mix of these two, because I don't want it to be too bright white on my lid. Just tap it off. See that? Look at all of it. I'm looking at the picture, very red and orange toned. So I'm just gonna go in with a medium brown. I'm going in with the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia. Iced Americano, 3 pumps of pumpkin spice, and it's only like $3. Chris Simchek taught me that. Thank you, Chris, for saving me money. I'm gonna go in with burnt orange right here. I'm gonna put that in mostly the crease. These blend out so easy, it's crazy. This is gonna be a long one, y'all. Like, long. See how that just like softly defines your eyes and just makes them look a little bit bigger. I'm serious this time, y'all. This is like for real tutorial. The other ones were like a get ready with me or like just chill. But I'm coming for the money this time. From the same collection. It's from the Morphe Rose Gold Eye Shadow Brush collection. Next I'm going to take Raw Sienna. It's kind of like a mid-tone brown. Tap off the excess. Just go like on my outer corner and in the crease. Just kind of like wiggling it right on the outer corner and then in the crease as well. But keeping it lower than that other shadow. Okay, I'm gonna take Raw Sienna again and just continue to define that outer corner. It's a lot like shading and drawing, but I was never a drawer. Is that how you say it? Drawer? Is that it? Did I get it right? It's really important that you lay down these base shadows because you want a gradient. You don't want just like color on your eyes. Okay. How did you do that, Nikki? It looks like she did like a halo eye cut crease, but I'm just gonna go with the halo part of that because I don't know if I'm ready for all that. It's a lot. So I'm just gonna try to do more of just like a halo eye, and I'll show you what that is. I'm just gonna go in with Realgar in this palette with this fluffy brush. This is the first brush that we used. So I'm just putting that in the crease and kind of like everywhere, blending everything out with it. I really like how much that warms that up. I'm gonna take raw sienna again and put that on the outer corner because I think it might have got a little bit lost. I'm liking how it's looking. I'm gonna take this brush, it's from the same collection, and I'm gonna take Venetian Red right here. I'm just gonna take that. It is pigmented, bro. And I'm gonna work like layer by layer. So I'm gonna add, but it's gonna be little by little. So a halo eye is basically like, it's like dark on this outer corner and dark on the inner corner and then really bright right in the middle. So that's just a very like simple explanation of it. I'm not a professional, so you can look up other tutorials on halo eyes, but this is just my take on it. But yeah, that's just how I understand it, is that it's darker out here, and those are really defined, and it's defined in the crease, and then it's like really bright in the center, so that's why it's called like halo, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna dip in that like darker reddish pink and go right on the outside of my eye. I'm getting right on that outer corner. Okay, I'm gonna get a smaller brush to get on the inside because I don't want it to get everywhere. So I'm gonna take the same color with this little tiny brush. It's like a lip brush, I think, but I'm gonna use it for eyes today. I'm gonna go right over here. Keeping that color pretty low. And deepen up that color. Get a little bit more rich. I'm just blending that. Just building on that color. It's going to be the primary color that we work with. Just going right in the crease with that brush as well, so I can connect these two. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Just further defining that outer corner. Taking that into the crease. Just going on the other side and just doing the same thing. Smart thing to do too is just to relax your eyes and blend that way, because my eyes look different when I'm like this. When I'm just like relaxed, you can see how it's actually gonna look. So I'm just gonna relax my eyes a little bit and just go right in that crease. It's getting a little bit cray, so I'm just gonna blend it just a little bit with this brush, the fluffy brush. Just gonna go right in here, just blend that a little bit. I'm going to switch to the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. I think it's perfect for this. So the colors, it's literally made for this look. I'm gonna take this brush again and go into this hot pink right there don't want to stab it with my nail. Just dip in there, tap off the excess, and go in the same places. This is just a little bit brighter of a shadow, so it'll help it to show up just a little bit more. Just going right on that outer corner. And I'm going to leave the inner corner for now because I don't want to make it any messier. It looks like she did a gold right on the center. So I think I'll do the same thing, but I think I'm going to start out with this orange right here. And I go in with my finger. Just going to go right in. My finger. Tap it off a little bit. And go straight into my eye. Just going right in the middle. Right in here. Right in the middle of your eye where your pupil lines up, and then a little bit outside of that as well. So like right there, and that's it. Okay, I'm gonna take this brush and just kind of blend the edges a little bit. I'm just gonna take, let's see, I'm gonna take this shadow right here. Just going with my finger again. There's a lot of glitter, with a lot of loose glitter with this one, so I'm just gonna tap that off a lot. I want to get all over my face. I'm just gonna go right in the center, right in there. Whew, that shadow. And right in the center, right there, and kind of like pushing and then swiping and then also tapping. And just like pressing right there, because there's a lot of glitter, loose glitter, so that's really the only way to apply it is to like press it in, if that makes sense. Next, I'm going to take this brush and go into this shadow right here. That looks exactly like the shadow she's using. I'm actually going to spray my brush with this Pixie Milky Mist, just like one spray. And I'm gonna dip into this shadow. Whenever you spray a shadow, it makes it, first of all, it sticks easier to your lid, and then second, it comes out a lot more pigmented than using it dry. So I'm just going right in the center. So if you just open your eyes and just go right where your pupil is, right there. And that's it with that shadow. Looks like she has a little bit more orange. So I'm going to take this orange shadow that's right in the middle, matte shadow, and just dip in there, tap it off, and go right on the outside with this fluffy brush and into the crease as well. Okay, I like how that looks. Let's leave that for now. It's hard to stop like blending and making it better and better and better. I'm just gonna stop right there, and I'm gonna clean off my face a little bit. There's some fallout. I'm just gonna go into this face mist, the Pixie Milky Mist, and just spray that all over my face. I got this at Ulta as like a gift for buying something, some Maybelline product, and it's the Master Prime primer from Maybelline, their Master collection, the Hydrate and Smooth one. Never tried this. I'm gonna try it out today. But it's supposed to smooth your complexion and hydrate as well, which is a really cool combination because that's basically what everybody wants, right? So I'm just taking a little bit of that in my hands and smoothing it all over the face. It feels like a moisturizer. It feels nice. It feels a little bit thick, Maybe I put too much on, but a little bit creamy. I'm just gonna stamp that in. It's supposed to be smoothing too. Maybe that's why it's a little bit creamy. Okay, so she has a super glowy complexion, going with the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal, and place that where I want it. So on the bridge of my nose, right here, on the tops of my cheekbones, and kind of chin, and like right in here. I'm gonna go in with Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation, and put that all over my face. I'm gonna mix it with another foundation. It's definitely too dark. It's really dark right now for me. Looks like she kept the skin really, really light, but also her face looks like, her skin looks perfect. So, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna mix this foundation, Wet n Wild Photo Focus, in Golden Beige. Just kind of mix that in because to kind of correct that color. The Beauty Blender and stamp it in. I'm just gonna really shear it out so it looks lighter on the skin. I am going to go in with concealer. I'm gonna take the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in medium. Just go right here, just a little bit of that. I really like the color of that. And then the Maybelline Medium Concealer, Fit Me Concealer in medium. I'm just gonna go on the inner corner of my eye with that because it's a little bit more hydrating, and that's where I tend to get a little bit dry, is right underneath my eyes. So I'm just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, put it on the back of my hand, and warm it up on my skin. There's somebody outside. On the inner corner of my eye, because that's where there is the most darkness, so I want the most coverage, and this is a very high coverage concealer, the Tarte Shape Tape. Only available at Ulta, which is annoying. Same one. You can get a very similar sponge at Walmart. It's called the Real Techniques blending sponge, I think, or beauty sponge, something like that. And it's only like, I want to say $5, $7, and it works exactly the same. So if you want to try that out, if you want a beauty blender, and you can't afford one, because they are $20. I couldn't afford one for a while. I've had this one though for like years, but try that one out though. I'm just gonna blend all of that out. I'm gonna take this brush, wipe it off real quick. This brush by Real Techniques, and I'm gonna go right in here because I don't want to mess that up. Use it to clean this up a little bit too. Okay, I'm gonna set all of that with the RCMA Translucent, the original setting powder. If you set your concealer after it's creased, then what you're doing is you're setting the creases in place. And that's exactly the opposite of what you want. So you want to get all of the lines out of your concealer before you set it. If not, you're setting those lines with powder and making them stay in place, which is the opposite of what you want. Going over the rest of the face with whatever is left over on my sponge. think that's good for setting powder. You don't always have to set your whole face unless you like want to lock it in or you have really oily skin, because sometimes setting powder isn't necessarily like necessary for a lot of people. A lot of people don't even wear setting powder and it's fine. But I'd say yes. Say hi. Hi. My mother. I love her. I'm just gonna finish the eyes right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna take raw sienna and burnt orange, mix those together, tap it off, and go right underneath my eye, right close to the lash line, as close as I can get. Tell me, viewers, if you're watching this and you have watched my other videos, do you prefer longer or shorter videos? I would like to know that information. I like longer videos when I watch other people, because I just think it's fun just to sit there and watch it and just relax and just, you know, just chill, you know. I'm gonna take Venetian red with this small like pencil brush, tap it off. I'm gonna go really close to the lash line, actually right on the lash line. What we're trying to do is match the intensity that I have on the top with the bottom, because if not, it's gonna look pretty uneven. I take Real Gar, this orange shadow, and tap that in there, tap it off, and blend that out. And we want to make sure that right here it connects on the outside. What I'm doing is kind of bringing that shadow up right in this area and kind of flecking it out. See that effect, the effect that makes. I think I might have put a little bit too much on the lower lash line, but there's ways you can fix that. I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and whatever is left on it, just kind of go right underneath the eyes. And I'm gonna try to make that a little bit less intense. I'm just gonna finish up the rest of the face and then work on the eyes last. I'm gonna go in with highlighter. I'm just gonna take classic Becca Opal. I'm gonna take this brush from Japanesque. It is their Fluff Concealer Brush. And I'm gonna take Becca Opal and tap it off and go right on the top. It's gonna be very glowy. Very, very glowy. And I'm gonna stamp it, but then I'm gonna kind of drag it onto my cheeks as well. So put that there and go on the other side. Cupid's bow and my chin. Ooh, that's a lot. I'm gonna go right in here too. I like that. And then right above my brows, going in today, the highlighter. A little bit underneath my brows if I can. Just kind of dust it and try to blend out actually that shadow too. I'm going with bronzer. I'm gonna take You're Dragging Me Down, the Wet n Wild bronzer. This is limited edition. So I'm gonna take that with this Real Techniques blush brush from Real Techniques. Tap that in there and tap it off and go on the perimeter of my face. I like this bronzer quite a bit. Why I like to apply the highlighter first is because when I do that, it ends up blending into all the other powders instead of like sitting on top of my skin. If I apply it last, that's usually what happens, is it tends to look really powdery, and like just you can see it sitting on your skin. And when you put it on first, you blend the bronzer in, and you're blending that highlight in with the bronzer so that it all looks seamless instead of bronzer, blush, highlight. Like, so I usually do highlighter, bronzer, then blush. I'm gonna contour my nose just a little bit. I don't do this that much, but I'm gonna try. So I'm trying to up the skills. So I'm gonna take this fluffy brush, I just cleaned it off, and I'm gonna take this bronzer. Just gonna dip that on the very tip of it, right here. And I'm gonna go right in here, and then right down the bridge of my mouth, the side of my nose. Just go in a straight line, right there. And that's it. Go on the other side, and it does make a difference if you really look at it. Like, you can see I just added dimension to my face. This is like, if you're going all out with makeup, I can't remember the last time I contoured my nose. But it is fun to do if you have the time. I'm gonna go right underneath, right here. It literally like changes the shape of your nose. It's crazy. But I'm just gonna go right here, right on the sides, and right underneath, and that's it. Like a subtle difference. I'm gonna blend it in a little bit more. It looks like I may have applied too much. It's so easy to do, y'all. You have to be so careful. It's so frustrating. Okay, I'm gonna do blush, and I'm gonna take this Color Icon blush by Wet n Wild in the shade Mellow Wine. I'm gonna tap that in with the same brush and go in the apples of my cheeks and kind of everywhere on my cheeks. I love this color. It goes perfect with this eye look too. It goes perfect with literally every look though. So I put that on my cheeks, also on my forehead a little bit, but I just do that everywhere just so it's the same color. I put on my chin a little bit, across the bridge of my nose, so it just looks like even, and it doesn't look like blush, you know? And the more time you take to blend, the more natural your makeup will look, and as natural as makeup can look. Take a very precise brush, and it looks like she has quite a bit of black eyeliner right here and on the top too. I'm just gonna I'm gonna mimic that with eyeshadow instead of liquid liner. But I'm just gonna take this black and just use it as eyeliner basically. Let's see if I like how that looks. Okay, I like it. Okay, let's do it. Just go with black and just go literally right on the lash line and just kind of like stamp it. I'm using this this brush. It's from the same collection that I've been using. I'm gonna dip in again. Just kind of stamp it and wiggle that so it kind of looks exactly like liner. Just close to the lash line as possible, and focusing that mostly on the outer corner. I'm gonna make a little bit, just a little bit of a wing right here. I'm just gonna flick it out just a little bit. This is a really good black shadow. It's super pigmented. I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild. So she has super, like, feathery brows, like super feathery. So I'm gonna try my best to imitate that. Hecka feathery. I'm gonna take this brow powder from NYX. It's their eyebrow cake powder. I've had this forever. Like, I wanna say 3.5 years. It's crazy. I'm gonna take this darker shade with this eyebrow brush, and I'm just gonna dip into that, tap it off, and just start at the bottom and kind of flick up like that. So I'm holding it straight up and just flicking up. This is the good side with brows. Do you guys have a good side? This is my good side for sure. I'm gonna take this spoolie, spoolie, and brush through that whole thing and brush upwards. Kind of brush out the product. I think that we're done. I'm gonna go put on mascara. It looks like she has a little bit of false lashes on, but I'm just gonna stick with my natural lashes, and I'll be right back. Okay, hi, I'm back. I'm gonna add a little bit of highlighter on the inside, on the very inner corner of my eyes really quickly. And then I'm gonna apply a lip and we'll be done. Taking this tiny brush, pencil brush, just going right on the inner corner. Just add a little bit of brightness right in there. For the lips, I'm gonna take this lip liner from Buxom. The label is rubbed off because I've used it so much, but this is probably, I would say, my favorite lip color. Hers looks a lot lighter. We're gonna go with this one. So just fill it in everywhere. It's really creamy. Buxom lip liners are basically like lipsticks. Like a matte lipstick, that's what it feels like. Super, super creamy. So I'm gonna go over it with a gloss. So it lightens it up a little bit. So I just used the Marc Jacobs. This came in a little kit. I don't remember, but I think it's just a Marc Jacobs lip glosses. But that is the finished look. Hopefully you can see that good. But I think I came pretty close. It's a little bit more smoky than the original, but that's okay. I really like how this eye looks. But thank you guys so much for watching, for sticking around. I know this was a really long one, but it's kind of hard for it not to be, you know. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.